Hey guys, this is Eric from ET Figure Unboxing, and in this video, we're going to take a look at a Figma number 274, Kusanagi Motoko, from the Ghost in the Shell, the new movie. So I apologize in advance that I don't know too much about Ghost in the Shell. I know the basic of the story, like I know who she is, and I know the main character is the machine and stuff, but I haven't had a chance to watch the anime. But my brother's a really big fan of it. I might get around to it, and do let me know in the comments if you like the anime or not. But here's the back of the box. And it doesn't look like she came with too much, but let's take a look at what's inside the box. Alright, so here we have the figure itself still in the packaging, and as expected, she doesn't come with a lot of stuff. But for this particular figure, I'm actually quite okay with it, because she came with at least 2 additional faces and 2 interchangeable hairpiece for the visor. Unlike these Hunter x Hunter figures, they only came with 1 face. Like, that is a really serious issue in my opinion. Like I've mentioned this before in my other videos that I'm actually quite okay when they include maybe less weapons and stuff, but they cannot cut the faces because there's nothing we can do about a face if they cut it, right? And like for example, I can use her weapons on her as well, so it doesn't really matter. You can get more accessories down the line. That's what I'm trying to say. But for face plates, there's nothing we can do unless we do some very expensive customizing. And yeah, I want to spend a little bit more time talking about import figures in general. I think maybe the strongest strength of import figures versus domestic is the ability to change faces, and you have different hands. And I don't get me wrong, I know the import figures are doing that recently, but for the longest time, if you spend $20 on a figure, like a domestic figure, you can only have a limited amount of options. I remember buying like a Spider-Man when I was a kid, and this is the only hand he came with. I had to punch people like this. That's not very fun. And also for the faces, like it just feels like you're getting like $100 worth of figure in one figure. So I'm not too I don't have too much trouble buying import figures for the high price because I feel like my money's worth all the time. But it does beg the question that some of the Figmas include a lot more. Like for the Attack on Titan figures, they have like 2 faces in there. They have the 3D maneuver gear, the weapons, and the cape, everything. They just go all out for some of the figures. So I'm not too sure if it's the IP or whatever. And I'm really curious how the engineers or the marketing manager decide how much plastic they put in there. I'm pretty sure there's like a really huge process that we don't know about. Maybe it's the IP or the the intellectual property, and just the popularity of the figures, they have to sometimes cut plastic like this. But yeah, this is fine. I think this is fine. Like she came with enough, and 2 faces is reasonable. And enough of me talking, I'm gonna jump straight into the figure itself. Alright, so here we have the figure itself, and as expected from Max Factory, this is a really good looking figure. We're not gonna use the turntable because she doesn't stand too well with the heels, but she does stand pretty good. But I will still use a stand regardless if I were to display her. But here's the close-up of the figure, and it looks really good. And this is a 2016 model, so I expect a lot from this figure. She's probably using all the most recent technology, or she has to be. And I do have some paint chipping over on the hair, but that's not too bad. And it's QC issues bound to happen. And look at all these mechanical thing, this matrix thing going on. And I think the whole suit can turn invisible in the movie. That's why it looks like this. And it looks really good. The detail and everything is fine. And this thing, hopefully it doesn't hinder the articulation too much. But let's jump straight into the articulation. I'm just not going to cut the video anymore. And her head moves this much as expected from Max Factory. I keep saying that, but they're very good. And yeah, I like the matte finish. And I think this is featuring the new kind of pop out shoulder they can do here. This is kind of pop out. They never mentioned it, but this thing is like a ball in here, and they do have a little bit more space in there. So you can pop this out and allow a little bit more to go. This is already too much. I think I'm popping out a little bit too much, but you can just put this thing back, and then it will be back to normal. Just allow for you to have that little bit more articulation. We've seen that on Face Day Night Ring, I think, for some of the girl figures. But my torso is kind of loose. It's a little bit looser than I would like, and see, it's really easy to pull that off. I might apply some nail polish for that, but we'll see. And the hip works very well. Yeah, the whole thing is on a ball, and it connects all the way through the leg, and the hand can go 360 no problem. And we have bicep curl, bicep swivel, Do we have bicep swivel? No, we don't. Unfortunately, we don't have bicep swivel. But I don't think she needs it. And you can swivel like right over here. Oh, this is very easy to pop off as well. So if they've changed some of the stuff here, because it's usually very annoying for you to change the hand if it's like too tight. But I don't know. They're still looking for the right balance, I guess. And the foot bends that much, and you don't have the ankle rocker. Let me check that out. Yeah, it works like that. But you know, there's no articulation for the heels, obviously. And this thing doesn't really hinder that much, but I wouldn't prefer, or I wouldn't recommend for you to kick too much. I think that's it for the articulation, and let's check out the accessories. So for the accessories, she comes with a smiling face and a pistol. I'm just gonna play the pistol right over here on the holster first, and I think that's how you do it. Oh, it's a little bit tighter than I thought. Yeah, this is really tight. Maybe I'm just not doing it right, like the angle is not right or something. Bear with me. Okay, yeah, I just didn't do it right angle, and that looks really good. It holds it really well, and yeah. Alright, so next up we have the teeth grinding face, or you know, she's just looking very angry and about to like beat shit up. And I gotta mention one thing. Here's the rack of hands she came with, and let's take a moment to look at them. Here's obviously gun holding hands, gun holding hands, gun holding hands, and some display open hands, right? That is what I would expect. Oh, actually no, these are actually the standard Figma holding hands. But I want to mention about the improvement on the packaging. Like, I'm not sure when they started doing this. I'm pretty sure they started doing this quite a while ago, and I just didn't notice. You can actually now open from here instead of tearing everything. Because for me, I keep all these plastic, and every time I want to try on their you know, the hands, I have to like tear everything open. But I didn't know you can just open from here. Like, maybe I just didn't know from the previous model, but this is really good on attention to detail. Alright, so here we have the interchangeable hairpiece for the visor, and that looks really good. And it's the same, you just have to remove this part, and then you can do a really quick swap. And no, while we're at it, let me just go ahead and swap out the other one without it open. And this is the closed one, and that looks really good. And I think this is for them to detect in the show. They can, like, you know, actually track things down. Oh wait, this is not going all the way in. But yeah, anyways, this is how it will look, and that looks really nice. And here is the machine gun she came with, and that's really well sculpted. And let's see what it looks like when she's holding it. Alright, so she came with a pair of hands for you to hold the gun like so. One hand holding the gun, and one hand just, you know, holding the trigger part of the gun. And that looks really cool. Now, obviously, you can do way more than this, because the promo picture, I think she holds it a little bit higher than what I did here. But, you know, I have to adjust the angle and everything. Let's just take a look at other stuff. And my torso is really Alright, so here I have her holding the pistol and doing some James Bond motion with the display open hands. And that looks pretty good. And this is what a pistol look like. And that looks very good. Alright, so lastly, she also came with a pair of weapon holding hands where you can share accessories, and this is from Figma GGO Kirito, and that looks very good. And let's jump straight into the size comparison. Alright, so for the size comparison, it's better for me to use the stand because she doesn't stand too well, but at the same time, we have to kind of adjust the other character's height. And this is what she will look like next to GGO Kirito. And what do I have else here? I have Makoto from Free series, and Makoto's like gigantic. Like he's really tall, and yeah, he still towers over her like no problem. And we have Hunter x Hunter Kurapika from, also from the Figma. I'm just gonna go over some of the Figmas I have over here, and I also have Gon and Killua from the Hunter x Hunter series. Wait, let me just kind of move that over here, and here you go. This is what she'll look like next to them. And we have Persona U from the Persona series, Persona 4. Alright, and we have Sword Art Online Kirito. This is the Sword Art Online version, and this pose is so hard to pull off because like Kirito doesn't have the newer joints, and this is actually straining the blade a lot. I'm afraid I'm gonna break it, but you know, it's fine. And we have the Venom Snake from the Revoltech, also very big figure. consider the scale that I'm collecting. Let me just kind of move my camera a little bit. Yeah, there you go. And here we have the premium edition colored trunks, and they're about the same height. Trunks is on a really short side. And we have the Figma Levi, and they're about the same height, more or less. And here we have SH Figure Arts Beerus, and Beerus is actually pretty big, like for what it is. Yeah. And we have, I think that's about it. We have SH Figure Arts Minato, the fourth Kage, over here. And I haven't been doing too much with this figure. Let me just try to do a cross arm. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that looks pretty good, pretty badass. This is what it looks like. And we have the old time disappointment Naruto over here. And I'm pretty sure they've done this sculpt in 2005 or something. Nah, I'm kidding. 2009 maybe. Lastly, I have the Machine Chaser, Kamen Rider from SH Figure Arts over here. Machine Chaser looks really badass. I feel like I'm just going all around with other figures now. I should really focus on the review over here. And here we have the Kakashi and this really cool cloth cape I got the other day. And you can kind of show your face over here, and that looks very good. And I should really show you guys the height. And yeah, Kakashi is a big fella. Alright, and let's check out some of the other figures I have over here. And there I have Raiden wearing the same cape from the same guy, and this is what he'll look like next to the other figures. And we have Renma, Hulk, of course Mewtwo, and Piccolo over there. And let's check out the other figures behind my backdrop. Wait, I'm sorry about that, I'm kind of slow today. Brain not functioning. And here we have it, and there is my other Kamen Riders. And wait, they're all Kamen Riders. This is not acceptable. Alright, so here we have Captain America, and here we have Thor. This is what it look like next to Thor and Captain America. You guys are probably more familiar with these, and they are on a very good size. Although I hope the Avengers figures can be just slightly bigger. They don't have to be too much big. I think just a little bit more bulky and just, you know, maybe 1 centimeter taller, and I will be very happy. And what else do we have? We have the Fame Joker. You guys probably don't know too much about that. And we have the Melon Energy Arms from the Kamen Rider Gaim series, which is my favorite. And we have Kylo Ren behind her, standing on the stone, so you can't really tell, with Garo, and we have Omegamon over there. Maybe I should just make it a little bit taller for my camera. But I think, yeah, that's it for the size comparison, and let's jump straight into the final. Alright, so for the final thoughts, I do recommend the figure. She's very good looking, and the price is not too bad. I remember paying about $40, which is very standard for imported figures, and she's the only thing interesting to me at the moment, like for at least for the early April and late March release. And yeah, I don't collect any of the other girl figures, so you know, anything that looks kind of cool and can fight from Figma or SH Figure Arts, I would probably get it, and this is actually one of them. And I should really check out the anime. Do let me know if the anime is really good or not. And again, this is the new movie version, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.